Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to episode 60 of Firemind. Today, there's a lot of adamantine that we're gonna be extracting, and yeah, it's the episode before the last. We're going to do a couple of things today. We're going to extract the blue metal down from the depths that we have successfully procured in the last episode. Finally, a success for the deep miners. And they had their success way before Uzol's pump crew. Well, there goes their triumph. Nevertheless, we're going to continue our endeavors in building this pump stack. The thing is just that I'm pretty sure that we'll be very, very far away from completing this thing, even at the end of this episode. I see that we're currently doing a progress of roughly 8 to 12 pumps per episode, which is fine and dandy, but down here we are pretty much at the finale. There's a couple of things that we can still excavate here and will excavate, of course. But yeah, don't get me wrong, there's not much left to do here. Except for waiting for the completion of the pump stack. The craftspeople up here, they are now extracting the adamantine strands. This is what we're after. This stuff can now be smelted back into wafers, and these wafers can then be processed into furniture, items, whatever we want. We can also take the strands and weave them into fabric. I just checked and realized I hope they don't go automatically into the loom. I don't think so, though. That would be silly. As you see here, there's weave metal cloth, and that is how we can process the adamantine. So, for today, there's still the adventures down here. We are, after all, one step away from the disaster. Not even a figure of speech. We just need to crack open that wall, and everybody here is going to be in a world of pain. I bet the dwarves of this place can hear unearthly scratching, thumping, and screaming down here since a long, long while. Most of them will think it's because of the trapped monstrosities that we got down there, so they might even not be noticing what they're unleashing. And while I'm talking, there is another order of coffins. Will this ever stop? I was so darn sure that I had 3 coffins just when I stopped the recording of the last episode, but Uzol needs bracelets, the queen needs coffins, everything is just like it is always, except for the fact that I'm one step away from killing off the entire fort. It's just a slight difference, only a minor thing that's exerting a little bit of pressure on my shoulders. Not too much, don't you worry about me. That jokes aside, it is just what it is, you know. We'd be striking open that cavity, everything will be over as we know that right now. Luckily, we don't need that much adamantine for this story, because my story sees it like we're okay once we have the royal insignias. Momus is no insane megalomaniac queen. She is very down to earth. I mean, consider this. If you are worshipping a death and suicide god, you probably are well aware of the, well, short-livedness of things, you know. You're well aware of the fact that everything dies sooner or later, one way or another. So yeah, I think that makes up for a more wise regent, at least in my book. Momus might be a little bit crazy with her casket cravings, but she might be more wise than Uzul. That might be very, very much the case. I mean, it reflects pretty much already in the fact that the items that the queen desires are always of some practical use, leggings and coffins, whereas the demands of the Duchess, bracelets, are more of a vanity kind of thing. Always have been. Now then, let's chip away the excess parts here and keep going, shall we? Alright. So there is another cavity we need to be worried about. So I'll be excluding this little area here and place it down another door. I mean, the exciting part is that we are currently at the point where we just need to smelt down a couple of adamantine wafers and we can make ourselves the adamantine throne, which is going to be very, very good. And so warm stone has been located, but that's a false positive. We got the X-ray vision from up above telling us that it's a-okay. Gotta say, clear glass is excellent as it is providing a nice vision downstairs. The green glass is quite annoying as it is obfuscating a little bit the cavities. It was quite hard to spot them sometimes. I mean, you get used to it. You get used to everything. But clear glass surely wins the quality of life contest here. If there was any. And more stuff is being mandated. Uzul is out of herself. Her rate of bracelet orders has skyrocketed with the time it took for the pump stack to be completed. I bet that she's just like not taking it anymore. It's a peaceful fort. There's not even any action to manage. There's almost no invaders if it's not down to some foolish people that come here to die. There is constantly a lack of action, if you'd be asking Uzul. She came here with the expectation of evildoers and things that are endangering the fort and all these, but now, just a peaceful adamantine fort. Maybe we are the forgotten beasts after all, like I said a couple of episodes before. Maybe the 8 Towers of Ages are the actual catastrophe befalling these lands. Well, let's cheer up a bit and carve our way down and dig greedily. Because I see that we have a really, really large solid space here that we can utilize. Up until then, pump stack time. We getting there, my friends, we getting there. One pump at a time. The worst fear is that I grow less diligent over time and there will be a mistake in the system bringing everything to breaking point. That is truly my nightmare. But I think I kept working quite good so far, as good as I can. So we're at minus 27 versus minus 98. As you see there, this is still a disparity of 70 pumps. So I'll be doing this off camera after we have procured all the adamantine that we require for the Queen's shenanigans. As it is now clear, the pump stack does take much longer than the Queen's plans. The Queen has won. The mountain home is finished way before Uzul's megalomaniac plans. Although, you know, if we go up here, we are almost done. We only need to build a really small pump stack here. There's already power connected to it. Really, the most of the work is already done. It's just that huge thing here that is still slowing us down. Well, I'll also be doing a beautification of the fort, as I feel like the city part here ain't finished yet. There's a lot of paths that need to be paved, so I'll be doing in episode 61 probably a big reveal of the beautified fortress with a grand finale, with a crowning ceremony and all, you know, things that ought to get done. But yeah, we're pretty much done here. The only thing that we need is another throne. So we're going to remove the rock salt one and put it down there, as there will be then a throne for the queen and for the king. So let's order the smelters to make a proper throne. Where were my smelters again? Here we go. So there it is. Make adamantine wafers. I also want to make this a permanent thing. If there is raw adamantine somewhere in the fort, we want to process it. End of the story. Why shouldn't we? So, let's take care that we're not accidentally popping the magma cavity. Instead, we're creating lots of room for the magma to flow into and eventually evaporate. There we go. So there's a lot of little magma cavities down here, but there's also a lot of room to work with, so that's quite excellent. And I think we should be safe into that direction there. Alright, they're canceling their work designation here because of warm stone. I mean, down here, I think, in all fairness, everything is warm stone by this point. So, yeah, we're very close to the center of the world. Of course, everything is warm stone down here. Now then, we can do our little fortification game and see what's inside of the pocket. And in the meantime, we can surely soon deglass big parts of this, but, well, one thing at a time. So yeah, we're really going down to rock bottom. This is the areas where we wanted to go into. All the stuff up here was all just the prologue to the actual adamantine spire. I mean, you get a lot of high-value gemstone out of it. There we go. That was a fine, harmless little cavity. I'm very happy whenever they are showing themselves to be that kind of thing. Alright, so we need to punch through the magma here one more time. Speaking about which, that is where I prepared another canal. There we go. So it seems as if we need to double assign pretty much everything down here, which is, wow, quite annoying, but, well, it's the same as damp rock, just like in warm. And I hear more work designators being cancelled. Yeah. More migrants arrive despite the danger. The miracles of Firemind surely sucker in everybody from near and far. I mean, in all honesty, if we check out the continent here, dwarves have only been on this side of the world. It's pretty cool to have this expansion here onto this continent. So I bet they're going to be canceling the next jobs here as well. Yeah. So basically every single thing we uncover needs to be double assigned now. Yeah. The joys of deep mining, my man. And ladies, of course. And everybody who doesn't feel like that's the appropriate thing for themselves. That's fine. We welcome everybody here. So, this cavity here should be totally doing the trick, though. Let's see, we should be safe there at that end. And that opens up the next opportunity. So we're going to remove our thingies here. Alright, it's finally just an export ban. I was worried dead sick again that it's gonna be another request for coffins or bracelets. Gotta say, by this point, it is really like Chinese water torture. It's just a drip of water that's just hitting you continuously, without ever ceasing, forever, and ever. And it never stops until the person dies. You could submerge them into magma. You can easily resolve yourself from the dripping. Oh well, it's you know, it's not like Chinese water torture. It's like dwarven water torture. It's like dwarven mandate torture. Speaking about which, we have a lot of angry dwarfs in Northward. What's wrong with you, lads? So what bothers the clothier? Yeah, alright. Being haunted by the dead is bothering you? Do we have any ghosts around? Oh, there's a ghostly wrestler. I bet I engraved his slab a while ago. So yeah, this is, Firemind. There is always a burden on these long-running forts, especially if there's so much death, mayhem, and chaos involved. I am somewhat concerned, though, that... Well, let's just hope it doesn't spiral out of control at some point. So... Clothing? Is my clothing industry not holding up for the amount of people that we are? That could be very much the case, but I don't think so. I mean, we had so much mayhem and chaos lately that I am one to assume that this is all just the old people to blame. Sort of. I mean, there's a couple of things that I realized that I wanted to do. But it usually doesn't result in such anger. Like I said, we gotta monitor this. I wouldn't know why there should be a real shortage of clothing in a scale that it would do this to them. Oh no, not another gemstone fire. So, I didn't trade with the Erdem Einem people because I honestly didn't feel like doing it. We don't need anything. At this point, we are pretty autonomous to begin with. Just don't need any items from the outside world too badly anymore. We could probably order some specific animals that we're currently not having or something like that. Whoa, that is an entry point to the magma sea. We can't have that. Anyways, the strand extractors are working. And we got, let's see, do we have already a couple of adamantine wafers? Are they even located in here? I mean, they are technically adamantine bars, so I hope they are. Wow, we got quite some lead. Yep, 13 adamantine wafers. So let's go downstairs and order the royal blacksmith to do something special for us. So, furniture. A adamantine throne. I bet that this is among the most forged adamantine items in Dwarf Fortress. Alright. Let's watch this being made. Yeah, this is a nice city. We still got a lot of things to do, though. I'm going to beauty her up and show you around in the last episode then. But all in all, I'm quite okay with what we did there. The workshop area never came to the point where I wanted to have it, though. There's just so much that I meant to do. Even after 60 episodes, we're still falling flat on so many things. There is no proper bone industry. There is still the entire workshop area not fluffed up. There's just so many projects that I didn't find time for, you know. This entire workshop area has to be remodeled at some point too. Will be remodeled. Well. But there it is, the adamantine throne. Let's lock it for a hot second and put up the furniture here. So I figured it would be quite nice to have the artifact throne and the adamantine throne in here. And I think the only thing I need to do now is to let the queen claim these insignias. I think that's how it works. All right. So we scored a success all in all. I mean, I feel as if I could have done way earlier into the whole adamantine business. That is one thing that I feel I want to do better the next time when I do this. Like, I totally underestimate how effing much time it needs to get this job done. Properly, that is. I mean, you can, of course, brute force in there, but I don't like that. This is just asking for a disaster. It can be fun, too, but, well, you get my idea. There we go. Pump by pump. I wonder what's the ratio of bracelets to pump by this point. There we go. So that one is not being completed yet. Yeah. But I mean, at least we're making progress. Continuously getting forward. That is what's important to me. The worst part is always when you feel like you're being stuck and you just don't know how to proceed anymore. That's for me always the worst part in gaming. Whenever I hit that spot, that's really frustrating. But as long as we're progressing, everything is fine. Okay, so let's do some digging and do some chopping and let's check back with the pumps. I knew it would be done by now. I wonder if I run out of rock salt blocks. You see, we're currently, or boulders I should rather say, we're currently using up one rock salt boulder per level. At the end of it, it is a pretty heavy strain on that material, but it seems as if the mountain still provides. I mean, it is not as if we had any issues getting that stuff into our possession. There's plenty of it to go around. But it looks as if we'd be needing some excavational work soonish. Oh, I could, as a matter of fact, allow these again. As there's right now no real hazard. I did forbid them as a safety precaution, which turned out to be unnecessary. That's always nice. So that is all the boulder we need for a project. Way more than that. So, there it is. I think there's the next gemstone fire in the making. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm the one to blame here. I'm well aware of that, okay? I'm not blaming anybody else than myself. Oh no, it moved again. Oh. You see the currents of magma can move the bloblets of gemstone. Oh dear. This is taking a long, long time. Well, that's fine. So... Oh, we cannot build anything on top of this yet. Ah, look at that. It is a contained cavity. It's not connected to the magma sea. Alright, I take everything back I said the other moment. So yeah, this is pretty much one of the most peaceful forts that I've ever played in. Like, there's so little harassment from the outside world here. We haven't had a single lycanthrope, we haven't had a single necromancer, no vampires, not even goblins, no forgotten beasts, just a couple of mega beasts. The surface ones, titans I think we had, and cyclops and that stuff, but seriously. I usually suffer way harder here. The Olm people were basically the most terrible thing to begin with. But besides that, Firemind has faced not too much really serious opposition. That is really something. So yeah, it's the correct orientation. I keep rechecking from time to time my own work, doubting myself, you know. And 3 more levels have been climbed. 5 altogether. Yeah, this is just a really, really lengthy exercise, and the Queen keeps ordering coffins. I don't feel well about this. We did need every single one of those that she ordered before. That's the real painful part. That's the whole stuff here. All right. So, is the gemstone now finally done with flowing? I want to put a bucket of water on top of these. Okay. But we dried up pretty much all of this level as well, so it's safe to pick for us. I cannot see into this pod here, so we're probably better off taking it safe there. As I keep saying, a minor slip-up can doom us all, so we're taking it safe. Alright. Quenching the fires in the depths, and let's see. So that is settled down. It's pretty much value for just a plain object, considering that the artifact is less worth than that. Yeah. So, let's see. We have Ognausmust. Jeez, those names. So there we go. We got Kogandumat. That's at least a name you can pronounce. And at this point it comes quite handy that they all have icons instead of none. We have Dakul. So we're just doing this now. Oh, let's see what that'll do. We got Mesmkadest. It's way easier to look for the icon rather than the name. Rakfilbe. I have no clue if this is working out as I think it is. And Tirist Rigoth. If it doesn't, I need to read up something here. Well, and Wenimithie. Every queen needs a proper whip. So that's 7 items assigned, and there is, well, alright. No notification that we did anything like MOUNTAINHOME. Yeah, I never did that. I just flipped a few switches and hoped it would do the thing. Just like I expected it didn't. But, well, I'll be checking up the Dwarf Fortress Wikipedia and see what I did wrong there. It's pretty sure that I just forgot a tiny flippance. Something that you need to do. Maybe it's the wrong items. Maybe we need to make something else. We'll see about that. Either way, my good friends, this is where we're gonna be ending for today. So that is a wonderful thing to do after saying this is it for today. So, Firemind, the MOUNTAINHOME. We're gonna be doing one last episode, of course, for the magma machine. You know, the queen now properly reigns over the MOUNTAINHOME, and we're going to continue the beautification of that. Maybe you catch it on a stream in between. Probably I will stream that. You see, there's a lot of things that I want to do. The Queen's Hall of Leggings and things like these. Anyways, I thank you guys so much for watching. We've come a long way together, and that's the first time I did a MOUNTAINHOME. Ha! Beautiful. So, drop me your comments down below. We're going to see one another in episode 61. Leave a thumbs up. Until then, a subscription would also be very welcome. Check out the description box. There are playlist links to the entire rest of these fortresses. And, of course, there's also Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee. Check them out. They are the best ways and means of supporting this channel, and I'd be delighted if you did. I also want to thank everybody supporting this channel, and I want to thank especially you watching this video up until the very end. Deeply appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed your time. I'm gonna do the construction works off camera, and I'll be re-inviting you for episode 61, which will be the finale of this entire series. See you all there. A wonderful time together, and I hope you enjoyed yourself as well. Bye-bye.